When it comes to like a lot of mental health things, your lifestyle always matters. It's number one. People need to understand that they are in control. You are in control of your body and your mind. Even though you don't feel like you are in control. If you really know me, you know that I love to go to the gym because it makes me feel relaxed and not crazy. And I always have chamomile tea. Everywhere I go, there needs to be chamomile tea. My parents' house, in my purse, in my bag, at work, if I'm going on a plane, at home, there's always chamomile tea. If there's not, I go and buy some and make sure I have it because it totally keeps me relaxed. And the gym, it keeps my mind sane and relaxed because I don't know how people don't go to the gym because without it, without the endorphins and everything that are flowing through my body, life would be very hard. So today I would like to talk about how healthy lifestyle choices help with anxiety, help to combat anxiety. So today let's discuss the role of diet, sleep, and exercise in relation to anxiety. So first, the power of diet. There's a lot of different things that happen in our body when we eat. For instance, all of our digestion, not all of it, but most of our digestion happens in our intestines, right? So there are certain ways our foods can be cooked that make the digestion harder, or there's certain foods that are harder to digest, such as like red meats. And we have complex carbohydrates, which are easier to digest, things like that. There's also some foods that affect our brain. They make us feel stimulated, or they make us feel sleepy. Such as turkey has tryptophan, which makes us tired. There's a lot that has to do with our food that affects us. So some things that you can, no matter what you ingest, you want to ingest nutrient-rich foods. You want to keep your foods to as close as their raw state as possible. A lot of the processed foods that are being made in America are causing us more mental health issues, more anxiety. It's very hard for me to find really good snacks for my girls when I look for them. Like, I have to buy them fruits and vegetables to give for snacks, but they don't last that long. Like, I want to give things in packages that they'll eat that will last a while and not be too bad for them. And that's very, very difficult. But now with all these processed foods, we really don't have a lot of choices unless we're growing our own food, which I would love to do, definitely. Some things that we can ingest extra to help with anxiety are things such as magnesium. This is magnesium glycinate, 200 milligrams. This is 2 capsules daily with water and a meal. Some people are deficient in magnesium, and it's a mineral that we should have in our body. It also causes relaxation and helps with anxiety. And I take it at night when I have more of anxious days and I want to relax more because I don't like taking sleep aids because I'm very sensitive to them and I have a young child. There's also vitamin B. There's a lot of vitamin Bs. You can get a B complex, which is a whole bunch of Bs. But there's B1, there's B2, there's B4, 6, 9, 12. And they all do different things. All in all, they help us a lot to reduce stress. And they're water soluble, so you can kind of have as many as you want. You'll just pee them out. Not saying you should have too many, but if you do have too many, you don't have to worry. Omega-3 fatty acids. That's usually in fish, like salmon. You can take it as a supplement, and they're antioxidants. They help with brain health as well as mood regulation. Also probiotics. People don't really know if probiotics works from like the studies that I've seen, but to add good bacteria in your body definitely does not hurt. And it may help with digestion, which is, what we need. We want to digest all of the great things that we need in our body to help our body. So I don't know. Probiotics definitely don't hurt. They're kind of expensive though, but it helps with the gut-brain connection, and you can always get live bacteria from yogurt, which is what probiotics are. They're live bacteria. I don't think there's anything else other than yogurt. And they have it in like those little drinks. There's like a little orange drink. I can't think of the name of it, but they sell it all over the place. and it has live bacteria in it, and it actually tastes pretty good. So those are just some examples of supplements and things we can ingest to help with our anxiety. Also, we want to make sure that our vitamin D is not deficient. A lot of people have deficient vitamin D, and if you know, vitamin D is like one of the only things that we can make, well, from the sun. Like, we don't get it from other foods usually. I mean, things are now fortified and we can take vitamin D supplements, but if you're in the sun for an adequate amount of time, you usually have adequate vitamin D. So people who are in lower sun areas or places where it's darker longer, they may have insufficient vitamin D, which will increase the risk of depression and anxiety. Have you ever tried mindful eating? Like, mindful eating is, okay, if we do everything mindful, we will not be anxious, but it's very difficult. Like, no matter what, like, you have to do everything and then think about it. So mindful eating is like, every second that you're cooking the food, you're like paying attention. You're paying attention to all your senses. You know, you're smelling the food. When you take a bite, how does it feel on your tongue, in your mouth? Like, you know, what's happening? Everything. You know, you're chewing it. How does the chewing feel? You're cutting it. You're paying attention to all of that. You're paying attention to what you're scooping onto your fork or your spoon. You're not letting your mind drift off into other places. It's kind of like food meditation. And to me, it's kind of difficult, but then again, it's not something that I practice also. I should do it more at lunch, but it's hard to do around other people. Like, I usually go to lunch with the coworkers, but unless you guys are doing it together, like, it's kind of difficult. Like, that's really kind of something you have to do on your own. I mean, I guess you could try, but then they would kind of continue to take you out of your meditative, mindful eating. But it does help to reduce stress while you eat. Staying mindful always helps to reduce stress and anxiety, but it's so difficult. And I don't want to say that in a way to discourage anyone, because it's not for discouragement. It's just, you need to know that it's not easy, but just because it's easy doesn't mean don't do it. It just means it's something that we constantly have to work on. Like, for instance, diaphragmatic breathing. Like, I love diaphragmatic breathing, and that's one thing that I have practiced a lot on. But a lot of times I talk to people in there, like, just kind of like, it didn't work for me. It was like, did you practice it? Like, really practice it? I want to say, I don't think you did, because it works wonders. It really does. But you really have to know how to do it. And I've been doing it for so many years now. Like, I barely feel like I'm a pro at it, and it's been years. There are also foods that increase, or substances that increase anxiety, such as caffeine. Caffeine makes you anxious. Anything that stimulates you, you have the risk of being anxious, because the sympathetic nervous system is a stimulatory system, and things that stimulate you can increase your heart rate. Then sometimes people have an increase in heart rate, and then they get anxious about that increase. And it's just like, it just continues. It's like a spiral or a cycle. Also, alcohol. For the most part, alcohol, I would say, doesn't cause anxiety. There's even some, like red wine, that make you feel relaxed. But it's when you drink too much of it that it causes anxiety. And too much of it for someone could be 1 glass or even 2 glasses. It just depends. Like, after I had my baby, I really could only deal with 1 glass of alcohol, and that's like champagne or wine, like something that's low percentage. But anything else, like, I used to have like vodka tonics, or vodka soda. I don't even think I had a vodka in so long. I would be intoxicated with like 1 drink for sure. So with that, if there's anything that causes you any kind of hangover, it can increase anxiety. And yeah, if you don't know your limit, anxiety. So with foods, also next comes the benefits of exercise. It's recommended to have aerobic exercise 5 times a week for 30 minutes. That's 150 minutes a week. It can even be broken down different times during the day. So 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 10 minutes at night. It can kind of be broken down however you want it to be broken down, kind of as long as you do it. Aerobic exercise, like say if you're walking briskly and you're sweating, at least a little bit. You're breaking a sweat. If you're not breaking a sweat, then it doesn't really count because you're probably not working your heart hard enough. Remember, your heart is a muscle. We need to work out the muscles. Working out, endorphins, like I love HIIT classes. HIIT classes are very good for anxiety. It increases your endorphins. Endorphins are mood boosting. They take away pain. They do all sorts of things. Like if we could drink endorphins, like we probably would. If it would work orally. I don't know if it could, but I would do it if it could. Exercise also decreases stress hormones and helps to improve sleep quality. And when you think about it, improving sleep quality, it's just as easy as the more you're active, the more tired you get. The more energy you use, the more tired you get. You sleep better. That's what it is. Like I tell my patients, like I have some patients that don't really leave the house and they don't really do anything and then they can't sleep. And I'm like, you've been sitting down all day. Like you've been resting all day. Like, of course you can't sleep. You haven't really used a whole bunch of calories, so I need you to get up and walk. I need you to go walk to the grocery store, walk around the grocery store, walk back with your groceries, do what you need to do. Even if you're walking around the neighborhood, be active in order to increase sleep and to increase your mood. Also, when you work out, it increases your confidence. Strength training, lifting weights, it gives you all those nice cuts and curves, and it makes you feel good. You feel strong. You can open those jars in the kitchen that are hard to open. Okay, that one was easy. But your clothes fit nice. Everything. Just you like how you feel. You don't have that extra fat layer that looks kind of dimply. Like that starts to go away. I mean, we may always have cellulite, but it decreases and it makes people feel good. And it's nice to know that, you're doing something for you that feels good and that it's making a difference in your life. Like everyone loves that. No matter what it is, you like to do nice things for yourself and then see the outcome from it. So yoga is a way of exercise that is mind-body. Because yoga is kind of like the mindful eating, like you're mindful exercising. Oh, and you can do all exercises mindfully if you can. Like you can, be in HIIT class doing jump squats, and you could be thinking about the jump squats and making sure you're getting them done and staying mindful of that, as well as listening to the music and the teacher. But it's hard to do because there's so much going on usually. I love HIIT class. It's like the best. But yoga is different because yoga, it's all about being relaxed. It's about being mindful about your stretches. And then plus you do a lot of stretching and stopping in that stretch. Like you pose and you think about it. Or you let your mind just be free and you focus on your breath. There's a lot of breath work in yoga. Breath work is actually a practice in yoga, as well as meditation. Meditation isn't so much of an exercise, but it's a way to stay present by focusing on things like your breath or like a word or a chant. And meditation and yoga come together. I mean, that's all in the ancient of where yoga came from. I can't really describe all of that because I'm not a yogi or anything like that, but they do run together. Like yoga breathing is called pranayama, which means to extend the vital life force. So that's why I say breathing. If you don't know how to diaphragmatic breathe, learn. It's easy to learn. You just have to practice. It's not hard at all. It takes practice. And you want to make sure that you're doing a type of breathing that doesn't get you out of breath, because some of them you kind of hold for a while, and so some people may not be able to hold for that long, and that's fine. Even if you did something that was just a couple of seconds each round, it would still help you. Like a lot of it's inhaling, holding, exhaling, starting again. Sometimes people don't do the hold, like you hold the breath, but they don't always do that, and that's fine too. I used to not hold my breath. To me, a super big inhale made a big difference, but also a very slow exhale makes a difference. So when you put them all together, it's awesome. It works well. So usually I like to do yoga at the end of the day. because it makes me kind of tired. Get you ready for bed. There's at the gym I go to, they have, I forget what it's called, but it's like a nighttime yoga class where it's a lot of like long stretches like on the floor, which helps you to get kind of tired. So that leads us into our sleep. Sleep is very, 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 very important. I practice sleep hygiene, and I try to get my patients to practice sleep hygiene. My main thing of practicing with sleep hygiene is I don't really like electronics in the bedroom. I mean, I keep my phone in the bedroom, but I rarely use it there. I don't watch movies in bed. I don't have a TV in any of the bedrooms. I only have a TV here because it's not good sleep hygiene. Because if you keep on the blue light, it actually excites your electrons. I used to sleep with a TV before, but I don't anymore. So sleep hygiene also is not working out too late, not eating too late. If you lay down and you can't fall asleep for 20 minutes, getting up, going to another room, and doing something relaxing like reading a book and getting sleepy and then going back to bed. Also, the bedroom is for two things: sleep and sex. That's it. These things really help people to sleep better, sleep well. Like, we should have a clear space to sleep on, with not a lot of stuff all over the bed. You know, the temperature in the room should be something that's cool and comfortable. These all make a difference when it comes to sleep. You can create a calming bedtime routine. Like we tend to do this for kids because we want them to go to sleep so we can have free time, but we don't really do this for ourselves. Sometimes people have nighttime skincare regimens, and I think that counts because it's something that gets your mind to like, when I do this, I'm about to lay it on down. And that's kind of how it is for kids. Like, they know when they have that bath, you know, that maybe massage, that book, and that bottle or that glass of milk, it's time to go to bed. So we can do that for ourselves. I would recommend maybe a book. I don't recommend a TV show late at night, even though we tend to do that a lot. Having a consistent sleep schedule is part of it. Like going to bed around the same time every night. Because, you know, if you go to bed at 3 a.m. every night, you're going to go to bed at 3 a.m. every night. But sometimes you might need to wake up early, which really throws you off. I mean, right now I think I go to sleep between, at the latest 11, at the earliest 9. It's really depending on the girls or what I do at night. Because if I'm working at night, then I will go to sleep later. So sleep deprivation can exacerbate anxiety symptoms. So one thing is that when we're tired, our brains can't regulate emotions as well as it could, which can increase anxiety because anxiety is an emotion. This can lead to exaggerated amounts of stress and just negative feelings altogether. Lack of sleep causes negative feelings and negative thinking patterns. Sleep deprivation can cause us to focus on our worries and our fears, and it may cause us to have a difficulty in having a positive outlook on life and like of our day. You know, have you ever like laid down too late and you wake up tired, and then you're just like, you've thought about the fact that you went to bed too late, and now you're tired, and now you're not happy and you're upset, and you're just like, I should have been better. I should have done better. You know, that's what happens. Then it causes anxiety because you're like, I needed to do better. I needed to get what I needed to do done, and now I didn't do it because I went to sleep too late, or I didn't sleep at all. Like, what am I doing to myself where I'm not sleeping? See, it's a whole cycle. Sometimes lack of sleep can cause us to have muscle tension, and of course fatigue, and sometimes headaches. Sometimes people take these symptoms as being anxiety, and they're not. But then they think they're anxiety, so then they go into that anxiety spiral, and like, oh my gosh, I have anxiety. Now I have anxiety that I have anxiety. It just keeps going. When really, you're just not sleeping well. How well do you think when you're tired, when you haven't slept? Like, you have impaired cognitive functioning. You cannot concentrate. You can't process emotions as well. You can't cognitive think as well, which leads to a lack of being able to manage stress or really like fix things that need to be fixed because your mind is fatigued and tired, and you can't pay attention to what needs to be paid attention to. Lack of concentration and lack of problem solving, which causes anxiety, which goes back into that anxiety spiral. So we need to be very mindful of these things. And eating, exercise, and sleep are very doable when it comes to fixing something. It's a lot easier than fixing past emotional triggers, like something from 20 years ago or something from how your parents treated you a long time ago. I mean, I think it's easier. It may not be for you, but for me, it's easier because thinking about the past stuff is like, woo, at times, like, let me prepare myself for this. It also disrupts your circadian rhythm, which throws off your sleep cycle totally, which kind of just throws you off. And you go back into that anxiety cycle of poor sleep equals anxiety equals not being able to sleep. So these 3 big factors, exercise, sleep, and food, are very important when it comes to our mental health. All mental health is improved by improving these factors. So please think about it. Your day-to-day, I know we're busy. I know you have a lot to do. You have people relying on you. You have people that want you to get things done. You have friends that want to hang out. But all in all, you have to take care of yourself so you can take care of others. Put on the oxygen mask first at all times. So I want to emphasize the importance of having a balanced lifestyle. Too much of anything is a bad thing. There may be times when we're thrown off. We need to put ourselves back on it. Just like we have a metabolism that keeps us balanced, we need to have our own metabolism of life and keep everything balanced. If you get too tired, you need to rest. If you rest too much, you need to get up. If you are finding it very difficult to do these things, seek professional help. Seek a coach, seek a therapist, seek a psychiatrist, seek even a primary care physician that can help you, or if you're interested in trying medications or anything like that to help you with your mood, seek support. That's one of the best things you can do. You can always do it alone, but you have to be very focused. And if you start feeling anything you can't handle, go back to seeking support. So this is Dr. Chandra Smallwood here helping you with your anxiety. If you have any questions, please send me a message. My contact information is below. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, or share this video. And I will see you guys in the next video.